Good morning, everyone, and happy Sunday morning. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, accident closes southbound lanes of Everett Turnpike. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Tim Callery.
When I think about what options are out there to make a measurable impact in our energy challenges, it's hard to think of a better solution than a project like Northern Pass.
Well, Sharice, just some new information being released by state police. They are now confirming to News 9 that this accident was a fatal crash, claiming the life of a Goffstown man. Now, we do have some video and pictures to show you what that scene looked like. This accident happened right before 5 o'clock this evening, involving two cars, one of them driven by a Goffstown man by the name of Gregory Tracy. He is 63 years old. Officials say that investigators rendered aid to Tracy at the scene of the accident, but he was later pronounced dead. Now, a second vehicle was also involved in this crash, driven by a 31-year-old Tilton woman. A child was also inside that vehicle, but those two were taken to Elliott Hospital, and they are expected to be okay. Now, this accident did shut down the southbound lanes of the Everett Turnpike for quite a while tonight, bringing traffic to a halt as investigators work this scene. But once again, this accident now being confirmed as a fatal crash. Of course, we'll have much more information coming up tonight at 11. But for now, we are live outside police barracks here in Bedford. I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Police standoff with barricaded suspect in Lancaster ends peacefully. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
Authorities swarmed this Lancaster home after they say a man who claimed to have the home wired for explosives barricaded himself inside.
This was a single suspect who barricaded himself into his home. There were no hostages taken in this situation. He is a mentally disturbed person.
It all started just after noon and continued for several hours as a police negotiator used a megaphone to try to talk to the 48-year-old man inside, who police say was armed with a knife.
He was asking for the FBI. He was asking for helicopters. I think he was trying to create as large of a scene as he possibly could.
Homes within 300 feet of where it was all happening here on Langan Road were evacuated as a precaution, but other neighbors down the road were allowed to remain in their homes.
I asked if it wasn't safe to be here, and he said if it wasn't safe to be in your neighborhood, we would have told everyone. We would have told you it's not safe to be here.
Police say it all started as a domestic situation. The suspect's elderly father had already left the home before the man barricaded himself inside. And the suspect, who police identified as Carl Ameren, was taken to the hospital with minor injuries he suffered during the arrest. He's now facing several charges, including for domestic assault and battery. Live in Lancaster tonight, Diane Cho, WCVB News Center 5.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. South Portland holds its annual Winter Festival. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 Maine.
And the warmer weather drawing big crowds to South Portland's annual Winterfest today. There was live music.
Sorry about that. We're having technical difficulties with that video.
Sorry.
We get it.
Still working on the whole training thing.
Thank you.
And the warmer weather drawing big crowds to South Portland's annual Winterfest today. There was live music throughout the day, tons of things to do for families, including horse-drawn carriage rides, ice skate races. That looks fun too, the sledding there, events taking place across South Portland.
Yeah, I just like getting out in the winter. You know, we're all closed up here in Maine, and and it's just it's a good day or weekend to get outside and have some fun with your family.
Now the grand finale for Winterfest is tonight. It's fireworks scheduled to happen actually in just a few minutes from now at 6:30.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Looks like a fun event. Trump will talk bipartisanship at State of the Union. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
Good, you're awake.
Finally.
You're still here.
Come on, Denise. We're Voya.
We stay with you too and through retirement.
With solutions to help provide income throughout.
I get that Voya's with me through retirement. I'm just surprised it means in my kitchen. Oh.
So that means no breakfast?
I said there might be breakfast.
I was really looking forward to breakfast.
But we can...
Voya, helping you to
and through
retirement.
Democrats calling for legislation to protect special counsel Robert Mueller after those reports that President Trump tried to fire him last June. The president consistently denying it, yesterday calling it fake news. But tonight, even a top Senate Republican says he's open to a move to protect Mueller's independence. ABC's David Wright is at the White House tonight.
Tonight, fresh from his quick trip to Davos, I think it was a very, very successful trip. The president is gearing up for the State of the Union, a speech the White House describes as optimistic, forward-looking, and bipartisan. President Trump eager to take credit for a roaring economy.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
This may be his first State of the Union, but it's a format Trump has already shown he can master. His address last year to a joint session of Congress won high marks.
The time for small thinking is over. The time for trivial fights is behind us.
But this year's speech comes in the shadow of the ongoing Russia investigation, including bombshell reports that Trump tried to fire the special counsel last summer. Trump denied it at the time.
I haven't given it any thought.
But his close friend Chris Ruddy was convinced.
I think he's considering perhaps terminating the special counsel.
According to the New York Times, Trump only relented when White House counsel Don McGahn threatened to quit.
Fake news, folks. Fake news. Typical New York Times fake stories.
Members of Congress are taking no chances. Democrats renewing their efforts to shield the special counsel from being fired.
My hope is that more people will stand up, protect Mueller, protect his investigation.
Even the Republican chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, Iowa's Chuck Grassley, says he's open to the idea.
All right, David Wright joins us live from the White House. David, I want to turn now to the State of the Union speech. As they continue to craft that speech, what else are you hearing about what the president may say?
Well, Tom, the White House says the speech is going to focus on 5 main areas, broadly speaking: the economy, infrastructure, immigration, trade, and national security. And the president's hoping to make the case that under his leadership, all groups have benefited. Tom?
We all look forward to that speech. All right, David, thank you.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. That does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Sunday morning, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. Goodbye, everyone.